Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. In Kirameki Paradise, let's do the first fashion-centric video. There are some kind of like pre-constructed outfits or like sets that you can unlock, so I thought that would be a good starting point. We don't have to make any decisions, we can just look at what they give us. But part of the reason why I'm making this video, and then also like the fashion checks for Near Reincarnation, is because I am considering doing a fashion or style channel on YouTube for men. But I want to get in some reps first. I don't want to just, set up a channel and immediately monetize it and say, hey, I'm an expert. I want to know, because talking about fashion and talking about games, they must be different things. There must be different ways to talk about them. Not just the language, but also maybe the structure. So I can talk about fashion in these games. These will be low risk, low impact videos. I don't know what the overlap is between fans of games, fans of fashion. But these will be easy videos to make, so we can do that here. And then one kind of big major point that I want to make first is that whatever outfit, whatever setup, we shouldn't dismiss it just outright. I think a lot of people do this that don't maybe take fashion seriously, or they've never thought about it critically. They'll look at something crazy on a runway, and they'll immediately dismiss it and say oh, nobody would wear that in real life. But within every outfit, there's something you can take away from it. There's something that you can learn. There might even be something that you like about it. And it could be color coordination or, pattern coordination or the silhouette or something. To just dismiss something without investigating further is not going to lead to personal growth. So hopefully with these videos, I can help people kind of see fashion or style in a different way, in a critical way, because that I feel is a skill that anyone can learn. Kind of learning how a camera sees in photography. That's another skill. Alright, but anyway, let's go through here into the sets. We'll go from the bottom. So, who would ever wear this in real life? And then, we all have our preferences for different styles or different looks that we like, myself included. But I can appreciate anything that is done well. So if it has, good quality, or if it's well made, or the color combination is pleasing, or the silhouette is good, I can appreciate that kind of stuff. For me, for my tastes, this is a little much as far as just stuff going on. But there's kind of a limited color palette. This color palette is not going to be very doable for many people. Certainly not men, but even women, I think, would be having trouble. But as far as what I like about this, I like harmony in what I like, in what other people wear, and also in what I like to wear. And I do sense harmony from here. There's a kind of a consistency to the texture of the fabric. It's a lot of matte. There's not a lot of shiny stuff, so I do like that. And then there is a consistency with the colors overall. But this is a little bit too designy for me. There's too much going on here with the shoes. The pearls on the strap. That little, what do you call that? Extra pattern on the heel there. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. But silhouette-wise, it's interesting. You have a high waist with that belt, and then actually that skirt is kind of short, but it doesn't look short because of the higher waist. And then the sleeves, which kind of terminate right below or right at the elbow, that's interesting as well. Generally, you would not want a sleeve ending right exactly where the kind of the belt cuts off, but then there's that extra bit here, that hanging down bit with this kind of white shimmery looking thing. So that helps. so it doesn't look too blocky. That's what can happen if like too many of the different parts of an outfit, you know, cut off at the same area. You can end up looking blocky, but yeah, this is kind of mitigated with that extra sleeve. And actually, this is kind of traditionally proportional for women. Women, it said, want to dress in thirds. So we have the first third is from the neck to the waist where the belt is, and then the second third is from the belt to the knees, and then the third is from the knees down. So kind of proportions wise, this is very classically feminine here. Okay, let's move on to the next set. This is from one of the kind of the NPC characters, but I am a big fan of this. If I met someone in real life wearing this, I would be kind of like starstruck. But yeah, even though I personally would never wear like something like this kind of punk, I can really appreciate somebody that has put all this together. It would be kind of intimidating, but yeah. Leather kind of has that eternal atmosphere to it of being kind of threatening, sort of dangerous. And so that's why it's kind of a popular pick as a fabric for like older people that want to sort of like keep an edge on them. But yeah, very monochrome. Although I will say that wearing all black, it's harder than it looks. I remember like after The Matrix was released, the nerdy folks that were you know, very influenced by that film, they would start to wear all black, but they would fail. They would look more lame than cool. So it is kind of tricky to wear all black. That might be a topic for a future video. But this jacket, this is for motorcycling, actually. We can see here it has kind of a double breast, but we can see like underneath the zipper there's extra fabric. You want that extra fabric as like a seal against the wind, which is coming at you, you know, riding on the motorcycle. And then a shorter length as well. This does look like a men's jacket, but worn in a woman. It is a shorter kind of a trunk, because you're going to be sitting down riding that motorcycle. But yes, I'm a fan of women in men's clothing. Alright, I think that's all I want to say there. Combat boots. Good look for a woman, I think. Alright. Next set. This, not a fan of just because of the implications. I'm not a fan of like the like infantilization of adults. And this goes like for more like casual stuff as well. Like I see adults wearing like hoodies with like ears on them and stuff, or like just like kid type of stuff, wearing it as adults. That's kind of, I don't know, slightly creepy to me. But like even if I saw a kid wearing this, I don't know if I would be on board with that either. But yeah, kind of similar principles to the first one that we looked at, where the proportions wise, it is feminine, although that's a very short skirt, so it's kind of breaking that rule of thirds, but oh well. Okay, next. This is fun. This is kind of steampunk, isn't it? But this is more kind of a like a baby doll sort of silhouette on that dress. So it kind of flares out from the arm, and then there's no like pinch at the waist, which is a good look too. This is of course not something you would wear these days. This is very influenced by maybe like Renaissance kind of style. But you got the bonnet, you got the big frilly collar and the bow there. Full sleeves, pirate sleeves. But this is really cool. But here, along with some of the previous outfits, we're seeing a lot of white. It's actually kind of unusual to see so much white in like everyday outfits. It kind of like stains easily, it's a little bit difficult to wear, so yeah, that's why it's kind of striking actually to see white. But I'm looking at this now, this might actually be like metal, like metalwork on her dress. That's pretty cool, actually. Not very practical, but yeah, cool. Alright, let's keep moving on up. Alright, so this is interesting. It's also kind of similar to the ones that we saw previously. But this is very American, or it feels very American, or maybe Swiss? I don't know. But the first thing that kind of draws my eye is the length of the skirt. Kind of like the conventional wisdom when it comes to length of the skirt is that the most flattering is when it hits the knee, because that is the kind of the slimmest part of the leg. And so if the dress terminates at the slimmest part of the leg, it will make your legs look slimmer overall. But this comes mid-calf, which is one of the thicker parts of the leg. So it's not actually doing a lot to like as like a slimming effect. But we see so much volume here at the bottom of the hem, kind of contrasting with the slimness of the waist, that it does kind of work for lengthening. But it does kind of break that rule of thirds. But still, very feminine look, I think. It's making up for it in other ways, like with the lace, with the sheer fabric and all that. But this makes me think of Pippi Longstocking as well, with the straw hat and then the twin pigtails. So I do kind of like this look, actually. Okay, here's another sort of punk-looking one, but this one's a little bit more feminine because you got the kind of the translucent streamers coming off, and a bit of what is it? Frilly stuff here around the waist. This also kind of feels a little bit over-designed, a little bit too much going on. And it kind of reminds me of like Jamie Lee Curtis in True Lies. She's going up to meet the kind of the mystery whatever as part of a secret mission. And then she's wearing this kind of like a frilly thing. But then she rips off, you know, all of the parts in order to make it more sexy. That's what this makes me think of. But what this outfit is trying to do is that with the black leather, you know, it's trying to have like an element of danger to it. But to soften it with, you know, again, the pirate sleeves, these streamers coming off the waist. So like a mix of kind of masculine and feminine here. These shoes I like. These are boots, aren't they? But maybe, I don't know, maybe take off those pearls. But I like a thinner heel as well. I don't like a real chunky heel. Unless it's very short. Alright. Here too, this is kind of related to the other punk ones that we saw. But we got like the boots here. Got a little bit of a military feel to them. A little bit of a Victorian as well. But monochrome here too. That's a way to sort of add some edge. And then I'll show you one thing here. This is kind of amazing actually that it is available from launch, but we can change the colors of everything. So I'm going to change this shirt to black. And then I was considering maybe kind of going through the game and then trying to kind of remove the color from as many of these pieces of fashion as possible, because when you're putting together outfits, there's a lot of things that you have to consider. And then color coordination is a big one. If you can remove sort of that consideration of color, then you can focus more on like patterns or fabrics or silhouette or just overall atmosphere. So that's something I'm considering doing. But yeah, by removing the color differences from here, you know, we can see the difference in fabric here. We have kind of a silk of the shirt contrasted with a more textured skirt here, and then like this translucent overlay as well. And then the leather down there. But yeah, in a lot of these setups, I'm seeing very high waists, which I like. It's classic, and it's feminine, so yeah, I do like that. Not a big fan of, like, women dressing like men, in that men want to dress in halves. Their top half and their bottom half. They have kind of a lower waist. And so like a t-shirt and jeans, you know, that's a men's look. But I'm a fan of the rule of thirds on women. Okay, here I'm a fan of this one because this is very male-inspired. But we got the dress shirt here, and the necktie, and the V-neck sweater, and then this pattern on the skirt, which you also see in trousers on men for their school uniforms. But yeah, I'm always a fan of school uniforms. One thing, this is a point that I made just a little while ago, I don't love a chunkier heel on a shoe. But, you know, the chunkier heel, it's more stable when you're walking. So I can understand why this would be better for a younger person, maybe. One thing about the character creation, I went through, and what is it? I set the length of the legs to max. I set the hips and the rear to max, the maximum size. And then the kind of the natural waist to the minimum. But like this game does not handle knit sweaters very well. Like that waist should be much more pinched in, I feel like. But yeah, she just kind of ends up looking like a blob in the center there. Oh well. Okay, this is the last set that I unlocked. But this is a floor-length gown. Very beautiful, but you would only wear it for balls, I guess. But I could see like this top part, this top third, maybe being part of a figure skating uniform. Yeah, very gorgeous, very impractical. Not something we would see these days too much. Okay, so that was me with just some random thoughts going through the kind of the pre-constructed set clothing. In future videos, I want to talk about like individual pieces, talk about why I like them or why I don't, and then maybe in a far future video, maybe put some outfits together, and then kind of go through my thought process for why I made those choices, why I like those setups. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.